with lawyers, there are specific rules of conduct, professional rules of conduct that are not necessarily law, they're not necessarily regulation, but they are a self-regulated body that can be enforced by other lawyers. And basically, if they get out of hand, they can be enforced by the law. There are rules and I guess guidelines for how to conduct oneself and how to conduct the business of law. It's actually a lot of rules. It's actually a separate test you have to take in addition to the bar. It's pretty extensive, but there's rules on everything. On everything. One of the things is naming conventions for a law firm. Without naming, I guess, anything specific, I guess we all know the common naming convention for a law firm from movies, which are the names of the given partners. That is actually a guideline established by the rules of professional conduct in order to avoid any kind of misleading advice, misleading trade names, and just without, I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is that just so that nobody gives themselves any puffery, that's the legal word, for exaggerated claims. So
the lawyers are supposed to have a level of sanctity.
Yes.
And so because of that, there needs to be some sort of, like you said, conduct where the conventions are laid out in such a way so that we, the dumb public, don't get confused if they are making their names fluffy.
That's better. That's a better way of saying it.
No, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe is basically.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they could be if their real last names were Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. So
Exactly.
You noticed something very, very interesting. We all are very familiar with Tabor Benedict, whatever the heck his name is. He doesn't even know his own name. But what not a lot of people have been talking about, and I mean, people have noticed this, is that his law firm is called Benedict Advisors. And you noticed something specifically bizarre about that.
And that is a violation of the trade names for rules of professional conduct, meaning that you can't call yourself Lawyer Depot, you can't call yourself Law Firm Mart, nor can you associate with any sort of business that is not the practice of law, binding. So basically, you don't ever see anything that is a law firm and also a dentist. Those businesses can't exist because of the fact that there are rules that say lawyers cannot enter into a business that markets both businesses. You can only be a law firm and you can only name it this specific way. So Benedict Advisors, as I understand it, violates that rule. And how no one has pointed this out and how he's allowed to do business, I don't get it.
It does seem to have some issues based on, I think it was rule 7.2b or something like that.
7.5b of
the conduct. Yeah. Now, I mean, we all know that he's also very publicly had other issues in addition to potentially having a name that is an issue. It's very bizarre. It's a very bizarre choice of attorney. And I think that we can all probably agree that it certainly seems like maybe somebody else is pulling the strings on all of this. It just seems like we're being handed this. Who misspells their own friggin' name on a legal document? On a legal document that you know is going to be scrutinized.
I don't get it. And also Benedict Advisors, another thing that you have to do for rules of professional conduct is you have to identify the type of business entity it is.
Yes.
So that means if it's a limited liability company,
you
if
have
it's
to put
a professional
LLC at the
you
end.
have to put that there.
Yep.
And he just wrote Benedict Advisors. Now, if you see in his email address, it says Benedict Advisors PLLC, but that's not what's the name there that he's signing under. So just a lot of weirdness. I just,
you know what else is weird that I'm just noticing right now? Have you ever seen a signature block that doesn't say Tabor B. Benedict comma Esquire?
I guess I have. I guess I've seen it.
I mean, I'm sure that that's a
Yeah.
possibility, but most attorneys that I know really, really like to have the little Esquire at the end of their signature block. So that's a little peculiar to me too.
And you know what's funny though is that it is listed
Peculiar.
as the CC. So there's somebody associated with this who likes the Esquire, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's true.
but
Okay,
yeah,
so
weird stuff.
next up we have Anthony Zenhauser coming in for $2. Thank you so very much. It's a big McLarge
big
cock Esquire.
McLarge cock.
See, even Anthony Zenhauser knows that you have to put the Esquire at the end of your fucking title. God damn it.
Well, I
Ew,
mean, if your last name is McLarge cock, you definitely want to emphasize it however you can.
If your last name is McLargecock, you don't need the Esquire. We already want to bang you. You're fine. You don't need to add the Esquire. You don't need to be Dr. McLargecock either. Jesus.
I'd probably put the Esquire or Dr. McLarge cock. Shit, I'd go to medical just to have that if that was my last name.